without accompaniment. That's pretty good. I started calling Don back there to play the piano, but we did great without it. Okay, Pam Barber has our visiting Rotarians.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to welcome Jim Whitworth, Floyd Lucas, Dan Coleman, and Steve Snyder from Lake Hickory Rotary. Thank you for being here with us today.
Okay, thanks for making up with us today, Rotarians. How about guests? Do you have any down the right side? Bob.
President Dave, I have a guest, Anthony Laxton from Transportation Insights.
Thanks for coming. Anybody else down the right side? How about the middle? Visitors. Left side. Any visitors? John.
Hey.
Oh.
I have my guest, my son, probably him.
Great. Glad to see you. And I think we just need to welcome Robert here too. Yeah. Great to see you. Great to see Robert. Okay, John.
President Dave, I'm delighted to have with me my partner in crime, my son-in-law, and more importantly, the father of two of my wonderful grandchildren, Todd Ashworth.
That's a lot of titles, Todd, but you heard which one was the most important, so make sure you keep that up. Okay, any other guests? All right, we've had a little breakdown in the Rotary Moment committee. There was a substitute, and the substitute got hung up for the substitute, so anyway, I have no jokes for you. I'll just be my usual self. But how about birthdays? Anybody celebrating a birthday is willing to admit it this week? Raise your hand. Okay, we're not singing or anything, so. Health of the club, anybody aware of anybody that we need to know about? Okay, all healthy and nobody has a birthday. Well, that's all you get for Rotary Moment. Alan Finley. Are you in the house? All right. Alan's going to talk about Rotarian Island.
Speaking of sunshine, I'm going to be very brief. I have no voice today, but as you well know, March 14th is the big day. I'm going to address this mostly to the Dream Team. You guys know who you are. Gals know who you are. We're less than 2 months away, and it's going well. It's not going well enough, so we need to keep putting the pedal to the metal and get your ads and your solicitations and everything, sponsorships to Lynn Layer. Lynn, where are you? Copy me on it, copy Jonathan Waters. You've all seen my emails until you're blue in the face, but I'm going to keep sending those emails until we get to 100%. But thank you for what you're doing. It's going to be great. Thank you.
Alan, I have one question. Did you sell the back of the ad up? The ones I was contacting had to go to their corporate headquarters. So is that sold or is the back?
We got here at the back of the ticket.
Yeah. Is it still available?
It's still available for just a few more days. Next week, by the way, that reminds me. Thank you. Next week we'll have all the tickets available and we'll have those doled out to everybody in your individual envelopes with your names on them. So tickets next week.
What's your mind, Jar?
What?
I think John's probably going to speak to it. I was going to ask about the credit card.
Yeah, the credit card machine is here for ad sales or donations this week, and ticket sales starting next week.
Who do I see afterwards then?
Dan Kirby will be waiting there.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, and anybody can sell ads, so we really want everybody in the club to be responsible for one ad, and the Dream Team is that committee, but that committee is about most of it. And anybody that, if you don't happen to be on that committee, you still can sell an ad. We really sort of expect that from everybody. 150, 250, and 500. And again, that is that time's getting closer. We will have 2 events that will actually we'll have 3. On the 19th, we will not have our regular meeting here. On Thursday the 19th, we will be meeting at Hickory Community Theater at 5 o'clock. From 5 to 7, we'll have a reception there. It'll be $10 a person. There'll be food from Groucho's, and we'll have, that will include non-alcoholic drinks, and then there'll be a cash bar. And the contestants for Idol will be at that reception, so that we get to meet them and really just start building this as we get towards March. On the 21st of February, we'll have a service project at CCM, Cooperative Christian Ministry. We'll be helping bag up food. They have like a set amount of food that's in a bag that they have for their clients to come and get, and so they need help doing that. And we're encouraging our Idol contestants to participate with this, and that'll be in conjunction with some of you. So we don't want to have 3 Idol contestants and none of us. So we want to do that. That is at what time?
That is from 11 to 2.
11 to 2 on the 21st of February. And then on the 7th of March, there's a Stop Hunger Now at St. Aloysius, not St. Aloysius, at St. Albans. And we will be looking to help there as well. There'll be sign-up sheets probably next week, or in the next little bit, we'll start getting people signed up for that. So lots of things. We're trying to make this not so much write a check and don't go and don't be interested. We want you to be participating in Idol all the way through, from selling ads to selling tickets to service hours. And these 2 service projects also will count as service hours if you want to count that against your contribution, your Century Club type contribution. Okay. Open World, Suzanne.
I am still looking for hosts for our visitors who are coming from Russia the first week of March. About halfway there to placing the people, and I'm sure we can come up with a service hours contribution. Look at how many hours you would get for having somebody stay overnight in your house. I have to turn in the information next week, so please come up to see me after the meeting today. I'll give you all the details that you need to know about hosting someone from Russia in your home during that week. Also, get to shout out, I've been trying to reach you, Tom, and maybe Dr. Hart. These people are coming to learn about substance abuse issues, and anybody who in the club or knows somebody in the community who can help us with that. I thought the DARE program might be something to introduce to them, so I'll be talking to them. Thanks.
Okay, it's our mission to prove Vince wrong, who said that we couldn't get 12 hosts. So be sure to do that. It'll be for, if we get 12, it'll be for 4 days apiece, right? That you'll keep one person, and almost everything's taken care of. They'll spend the night with you, and then you'll probably get them breakfast, and then get them to a location, and then you're kind of done until they get back. So you don't have to worry, we don't have to entertain them and that sort of thing. There are 3 women and 3 men, and so you need to fill out a sort of an application type thing so they can get you matched up right. Make sure that you got cats and they're allergic or something like that. Okay, let's make sure we do that. So I mentioned the 19th that we are not going to be here. The 12th of February we will be here, and it's a special day. It is our club birthday, the anniversary of our club, and we want to make sure we have really big attendance. We're going to have a special meal. It'll be a sit-down deal. We'll probably ask you to try to let us know if you're coming. Think about bringing guests for that meeting. Think about bringing maybe widows of deceased members if you are still in contact with them. They always like to come to that. We're going to try to have some extra things. We'll have Idol contestants performing for entertainment, and may even have a few door prizes. So you'll want to be sure to mark that on your calendar the 12th to try to be here. Jennifer.
I was just saying, next week there'll be sign-up sheets, so if you do plan on bringing a guest or guests, in the meantime, if you're not going to be here next week, if you will be here for the anniversary, just send an email to me so I can go ahead and start getting numbers and planning it with
Club just needs a little better insight into how many are going to be here so they can staff it and that sort of thing. It'll be a plated dinner instead of a buffet. Okay? So be sure to be here on time. Okay, been talking about attendance, and I wanted to tell you that we're doing better, and we want to keep moving our attendance up, so always make sure that it's a priority for you on Thursdays. Our July attendance was 60.6, August 61.5, September 65.6, October 61.9, November 71, and December 63.4. So we're consistently in the 60s. We need to get consistently in the 70s and keep that moving up so that we can do what we're supposed to do, and that's have fellowship and learn about each other and have a good time and be a real Rotary Club. Okay, any other announcements? All right, John Rambo has our program.
Thank you, President David. My name is John Rambo, and I am a Rotarian. Thank you. I won't bore you by reading to you the bio that you have in the spoke. I encourage you to read it to learn more about our guests. But this is Mel Causey from the Pace at Home program. But I wanted to tell you more about why I wanted to have this program. It goes back to when my parents were becoming ill and needing care, and when I first met Mel last summer and learned more about the program, Pace at Home sponsored our summer senior theater program, the Encore Players, and we went there and performed, and I learned more about what they do. And with regard to my own parents, couldn't help thinking, if only that was where they are, and if only I could have gotten them into a program like that. But Mel is a former Rotarian. She'll tell you more about that. But their capacity here at their local site on Fairgrove Church Road is their capacity is 200 patients, and they're just over 50, or no, just over 50%. Just under 50% capacity. So when I learned that, I thought that this would be a good place for her to come and tell you more about what they do and what they can do for people in Catawba County. So please welcome Mel Causey.
Thank you, John. And thank you for allowing me to come and talk to you for a few moments. And that's exactly what it will be, because I know everyone has very busy schedules, about Pace at Home. We are located at 1915 Fairgroves Church Road, on the corner of Fairgroves Church Road and 70, in the former Dell Jarrett building. Is everyone familiar with that? Beautiful building, and you see Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly across the top. We had a sign posted that said Pace, and because it was the former Dell Jarrett building, many people thought that it was Pace cars. So we felt we really needed to do something to communicate to the community that we were a little bit more, although we love Pace cars, we were a little bit more than that. Pace at Home is a managed care plan that is also a provider. So we are an insurance product. Although we are not licensed by the Insurance Commission, we are not required to be licensed by the Insurance Commission. We are an insurance plan because we receive funds from Medicaid and Medicare in a capitated rate at the beginning of each month, and we provide all medical services to the individuals who are enrolled in our program. You must be 55 and over, and the objective of the PACE program is to support families to maintain their loved ones at home in the community. We do that by providing them with a coordinated managed care program of care management using an interdisciplinary team. We have physicians on staff, currently Dr. Forshee and Dr. Peltzer. Dr. Forshee is our medical director. Dr. Peltzer also supports us as community physicians who provide support and services to us, along with a full-time nurse practitioner. We are actively looking and recruiting for a physician for our program, and we will have a full-time physician employed in the PACE program. As John stated, we serve 96 individuals at this time. We cover 5 counties: Catawba, Caldwell, Burke, Alexander, and Lincoln. And so our program is somewhat urban and some metropolitan. I'm not going to say urban, metropolitan and rural. And we're very excited about the fact that we serve rural communities because we're able to provide services that are not available to individuals who are living a lot in our rural communities, especially in Alexander, Burke, and Caldwell. At Pace at Home, we have master's social workers, 2 master's social workers who are employed in our organization that help us to comprise this interdisciplinary team. Our physician or nurse practitioner. We have physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists. We have home care services. We provide durable medical equipment. We provide all medications. We have transportation. You may have seen some of our buses around the community. They are wrapped beautifully by one of the local vendors. They say Pace at Home. We currently have a fleet of 13, a combination of 6 vehicles that belong to us, and then we utilize 3 community transportation services to meet the needs of our current participant population. We have about 55 employees who are employed with our organization. Out of that 55, I would say at least 15 of them have advanced degrees. So from an economic perspective in the community, we do a really good job of helping to bring dollars into the community. We do everything that we can to use local vendors for any of the additional services that we need. So for dentists, for dental services, we subcontract those. We also use all of the home care. We have 14 different home care agencies in the community that we utilize to provide home care support for our participant population. At Pace, our foundation of our program is an adult day center. It is a licensed adult day center. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. where the day center is available. We provide transportation to pick our participants up and then to take them home in the evening so that their family doesn't have to be concerned or worried about that. We also have our medications are delivered to the home. So that's another advantage of the PACE program. Once an individual becomes enrolled in the PACE program, there are no co-pays. So if you go to the hospital, and we are contracted with Fry and Catawba Valley, we pay the hospital bill at 100%. And then we send a nurse to the hospital to support the family, because sometimes, even for healthcare professionals, the healthcare environment can be overwhelming. And we send an individual to help navigate that system and make sure you're getting the information that you need and you understand what's going on. Along with our physicians and our nurse practitioner who works directly with the hospitalist to make sure that they have all of the information we have and to get an individual out of the hospital as quickly as possible. Because we have a tightly case-managed program, we are able to have lower than the country's average of hospital stays. Our length of stay in the hospital is lower than the country's average. And we are able to successfully keep individuals who otherwise would be placed in a nursing home if they were not enrolled in the PACE program. PACE at Home opened in 2012 as a result of 4 community organizations: Catawba Valley Regional Hospice, Lutheran Social Services of North Carolina, or Lutheran Aging Services of North Carolina, the Adult Life Program, and Catawba Valley Medical Center. They all came together and created our 501c3 and applied for authorization from the state of North Carolina Department of Medical Assistance and the federal government through CMS for approval to develop this PACE program. We operate as a nonprofit organization with a 12-member board. Each one of our 4 sponsors have 3 members who serve on that board. They serve a 3-year term, and then they rotate, and they can serve an additional 3-year term. Our capacity, as John stated, is 200, and once we reach that 200, we will expand into Burke and Caldwell counties. So I know I covered a lot. I tried to make sure that in my bio, there was a telephone number and information that's available for you. We are excited to be in this community. There are 11 PACE programs in the state of North Carolina, and the PACE programs began in 2008 and have grown rapidly. The state has indicated strong support for the PACE model and hope to have PACE throughout the state of North Carolina so that all counties will be covered by a PACE program in the future. We don't anticipate any new PACE programs starting in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm sure you know the state has been struggling with their budget. But they have expressed a commitment to expand this PACE program because they recognize that giving consumers and giving North Carolinians an alternative is the right thing to do. So with that, I'd like to open it up for any questions that you may have.
Why do you think that it's not full? Is it awareness or is it eligibility?
Speak up, David, would you?
The question was, why do you think it's not full? Because of eligibility or awareness? And I believe that the reason why we're not at 200 and we opened in 2012 is that our original marketing strategy was through presentations and word of mouth. Since June, we started to advertise in local newspapers. We are out with yard signs, and we've had a very robust advertising campaign that we've implemented with television commercials and radio stations to get the word out. And I think that's why it's been a delay. Yes, sir.
You know, some older citizens, like I think of my own situation, I may retire here, I might retire someplace else. If I was enrolled in the program and decided to move someplace else, can I transfer?
If there is a PACE program in the new community where you're moving, yes. The PACE model of care was designed for the dual eligible population, that Medicaid and Medicare, because there was an overutilization of Medicare funds with the Medicaid, because of qualification and eligibility and a variety of other requirements that Medicare and Medicaid have. And the states and the federal government recognized that if they could bundle those funds and meet the unique needs of that frail elderly population, they may be able to operate in a more cost-effective manner. And it was proven in the early 70s that that could be done. And so I say that it was designed originally for a Medicaid and Medicare population. We do have private pay individuals in our program, and there is tremendous benefit. But again, I say that our program is designed to support individuals to remain in the home. We have nursing home contracts, and at the last resort, will we recommend to a family that nursing home placement is necessary. Our objective is to prop that family up, support them, and then we call it walk the journey with our family members to help them successfully keep their loved one at home. Yes, sir.
You have a client or patient at home, how often will you visit the home for that purpose?
If we have, typically our participants, when they enroll in our program, there is an individualized care plan that's developed. Every one of our professionals on the team conducts an assessment, which that also includes a dietitian, so that we can determine exactly what their needs are. We have individuals who come to our day center maybe 3 days a week because they may have a loved one who is not working and is at home, and we are giving that individual what we call respite and the opportunity to handle their own personal business on the 3 days that that individual comes to our center. Or we may have someone who comes to the center 5 days a week. We have individuals who come to the center 1 day a month. That is a requirement at minimum. At least once a month you need to come to the center so that you can be seen by our clinicians. You're seen in our clinic every 3 months at minimum. And then if there is an acute episode, we will bring you into our center, or we will send our nurse practitioner or someone to your home to see you, because our program is designed on wellness and prevention. As far as home care, that depends on, again, it's individualized and it depends on what the family needs. So if we may have someone who gets home care first thing in the morning to help assist one of our participants to prepare and get ready to come to the day center, so that the family can get out and get to work. And then we'll have home care meet in the evening to assist and get them ready for bed. It really depends on that individual, that participant. We've seen miraculous things happen. Because we're based on wellness, everyone who comes into our program, immediately we start focusing on movement. It is amazing what can happen once you get peers together and we start encouraging movement and competition kicks in. It is amazing. Yes, sir.
What's the criteria to be accepted as a patient in PACE?
To enroll in a PACE program, you must be 55 years of age, and you must meet a nursing home level of care. That nursing home level of care is determined by an assessment that is currently completed by the PACE at Home physician. We will make arrangements to bring you into the organization. The PACE at Home physician will conduct this assessment. And then we send that to the Department of Medical Assistance, and they make the final decision based on that assessment. If you meet the nursing home level of care, you can enroll in a PACE program. Yes, sir.
The website here, can you find out if there are places on there, can you find out if there are places elsewhere in the country?
From our PACE website, we do not have a link to the National PACE Association website. But if you put in the Google site, in the Google box, the National PACE Association, it will come up and you'll be able to see all of the PACE programs in the country. There's also a North Carolina PACE Association, and you'll be able to see the 11 PACE programs that are in the state of North Carolina that are currently operating. And you, last but not least, feel free to call me. I'll be more than happy to walk you through and identify anything that you need and find the executive director to assist you. Yes, sir.
Does your organization help your clients to modify their homes so that they can get around when you return them to home?
If we have an individual who is currently residing in a nursing home and they desire to come home, we can work with a program called Money Follows the Person. And that program will do home modifications to provide an environment that's safe for an individual to return home. And then we will then come in and bring the wraparound services to support them to remain in the home independently. And our staff will facilitate all of that if you were to call us. Yes, I'm sorry.
You said if the person was in a nursing home and wanted to return home.
Yes.
What if they're in a home that's, like, say there are too many steps or something? They're basically living in one room because the rest of the house is not accessible, and they're not in a nursing home. Are they going to be eligible for that assistance?
If they're living in their home, the question was if they're living in their home and they may have steps or something that keeps them from being able to leave the home or access other parts of the house, will we provide services to them? If they meet the nursing home level of care, then we will work with that family. And yes, we have provided ramps. We have provided air conditioners if someone has COPD or CHF. So, because anything that we deem is medically necessary, we are able to provide to our participant population. We are not bound by the traditional Medicare guidelines, which is one of the beauty, and that's a beauty and benefit of the program. So we have partners that we work with, and yes, we have provided ramps at times. We have temporary ramps that we have in place that we can use. There's training that we also provide to families to help them be more successful. So yes, all those services are potentially available But the key is that you must meet that nursing home level of care.
And what are the standards for the nursing home level of care?
Well,
in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, it's usually 2 or more chronic illnesses that need to be managed, and some other what we call activities of daily living that you need assistance with. So you may have some memory loss, you may have ambulation challenges, things of that nature, which when we say activities of daily living, it might be something to that nature. There's 3, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, is that okay?
If a person is in the PACE program and then needs hospice care, will that run concurrently, or does PACE fall out, does hospice supplant, or can PACE take care of what hospice would provide instead of hospice?
We run, I want to say we run concurrently, and that we have a hospice contract as a subcontract. We will not utilize all of the hospice services because we will not duplicate the services that we have. But we will supplement the services that we have with hospice. So we partner with hospice and provide in-home services if it is necessary. We will provide inpatient services if it is necessary. And if our number one objective is to make sure that these are the best years of our participant population's life, and that their end of life is exactly what and where they want it to be. And we evaluate ourselves by asking the question, were we successful at doing that? Yes, sir.
How long can you be in the PACE program once you qualify?
Forever.
Forever.
There's no time limit. Yes, ma'am.
Now, is it your clinicians and physicians that qualify, or is it their regular doctor? I mean, how is it that they actually qualify for the PACE program?
The physician in the PACE program will conduct the assessment. The assessment is a standard assessment that is used by all community-based service programs in the state of North Carolina. So they are the ones. We have some individuals who have not been to a doctor in 5 years. They don't have a primary care physician, so they wouldn't have anyone to go to. We have some who have a primary care physician, and for those individuals who don't want to give up their primary care physician, we respect that. And what we do is we give them the opportunity for the first year to go to their physician twice in a 12-month period of time. Because that gives them the opportunity to develop a relationship with our clinicians. That gives their physician the opportunity to see we're doing a good job of taking care of them, and it's very reassuring to the family and to the participant. So we will do that. What I have found is a lot of times once they get enrolled in our program, they have no desire to go. Because the physicians, they're always around. You just don't have this kind of access. We have we are a 24-hour service. So we have an on-call service. If you call our on-call service in the evening, a clinician is going to call you back. A nurse is going to do an assessment, contact our clinician, and then the clinician is going to call you back. You just don't get that in the general community. Yes, ma'am.
What percentage of your patients have their own private insurance, or do you handle their own insurance in addition to?
We have very few who have long-term care insurance.
Okay.
I am currently working with a client right now that has long-term care insurance, and it is very unfortunate because our model is unique in the long-term care insurance products were not designed for a comprehensive service like ours. So they're trying to unpack a bundled system to determine how much they will reimburse.
Yeah, we got one more. If we have. Okay.
Thank you, and I have my business cards here if you want.
Mel, I'd like to give you this as a copy of our 4-way test that our club tries to strive to live by.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that.
Obviously, with that much interest, it has struck a nerve, and thanks for that presentation. John, you're right that word that needs to get out. And that's certainly, I've been through that very thing with my dad recently. I know many of you have, and I know I qualify for age, and some mornings I think I qualify for the rest of it, so I might be there soon. Okay, we're want to do a little special emphasis on our cart buckets. Susan's going to say a little something.
Question. Throughout your life, what are the odds that you'll get cancer? Does anybody know? 8 or 9. It's 1 in 11. For you to get Alzheimer's disease, it's 1 in 6. We need more research on Alzheimer's disease. We need to put more emphasis, as much as we have for cancer research, breast cancer research, all sorts of cancer research, we really need to do it for Alzheimer's. By the time you're 85, it's 1 in 2. 1 in 2. So think about that, dig deep. Let's fill up the buckets.
Thank you. This is a Alzheimer's Research Trust, and it is doing some amazing research that doesn't get done normally by any regular grants or anything like that. So they're doing some great research, and we heard at the district conference one of the researchers was actually there and talking about some things that he had done, some breakthroughs they had made, and he made us aware that he wouldn't be able to do that without this money from CART. And also, we're going to have a bucket up front so that while you got your money out, you can just go ahead and put in there. You don't have to search for change. So, got several opportunities to do that, and we want to try to hit a goal of per capita this year that we have not hit before. Okay, service above self raffle. Bob's got that for us. Thanks for all the visitor Rotarians making up and our guests. Please come back. Robert, great to see you. Come back.
Okay. Thank you, President Moore. Today we have $2,200 and $2,203. We took in $88 today. We have 22 cards and 1 joker. And we'll ask you to draw one.
Okay, 545226. 545226. A regular up here.
Ace of Spades is coming up.
I hope it's a red card just for you.
It's a black. It's a black.
It is a black card, but failure. We love that. Okay, anything else? Remember all those dates? Start getting them down? John?
I just want to plant the seed in your mind that for those of you coming to the social at the theater on the 19th, we do have a performance of Crowns that evening at 7:30 after our reception. But if you're wanting to come to that, I urge you to get your tickets as soon as you decide to do so, because it's never too early, but it can be too late.
And those are that's discount ticket night, so
yes, tickets are only $14.
$14, so that's a discount. You'll be there anyway, so get those tickets. Okay, if you'll rise and join me in the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all?